Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Dog missing for more than 10 months reunited with owners in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Fight security threats 60 times faster with AI that sees threats coming. The IBM Cloud, the cloud for smarter business.
A dog that was missing for nearly an entire year has been reunited with its owners. Granite State Dog Recovery says the retriever named Beowulf ran off into the woods in Hill after getting spooked in May of last year. He wasn't seen again until January, when the group says it received a call about a skinny dog bolting down the road. When team members realized it was Beowulf, they went on a mission to find the dog. On Monday, they finally managed to capture him, and I'm sure the family is so happy to have that dog back.
They do some amazing recovery work with that group, but yeah, can you imagine that many months later?
For
there he is.
A whole year.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. What a good story there. Man accused of spitting on punching trooper during Logan arrest. A man accused of attacking and spitting on a state trooper at Logan International Airport was charged with assault and resisting arrest, officials said. Kevin, 28, of Narragansett, Rhode Island, was arraigned Wednesday in East Boston Municipal Court on charges of assault and battery on a police officer, assault and battery with dangerous weapon, and resisting arrest. According to a police report, state police responded to Terminal A at about 11 p.m. Wednesday for a report of an unruly passenger on an inbound flight. A short time later, the man identified as Lucas walked into the baggage office to make a claim about a lost bag, the report said. When a Delta supervisor indicated to troopers that Lazak was the individual the flight crew was concerned about, he walked out of the room and sprayed an unknown liquid solution in a trooper's face, the report said. When trooper tried to arrest Lazak, he resisted and began punching the trooper, according to the police report. During the inshore struggle, the trooper and Lazak went to the floor in the area of the baggage console, according to the report. Lazak continued to punch and spit on the trooper before other troopers were able to place him in custody, state police said. The trooper suffered injuries to his face, hand, and knees. He was checked by EMS, but refused transport to a hospital. Lazak was treated by Boston EMS for a bloody nose received while fighting to avoid arrest, officials said. Lightning hits near house in Saco, causing fire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
From scene of a fire in Saco, Cumberland Avenue there has been shut down. You can see some smoke there rising from that building. You see the trucks there, the ladders extended as well. Drivers being urged to avoid this area. I can tell you we're expecting an update from the deputy chief there in just moments. We do have a crew at the scene. As we get more updates on the situation, we'll bring it to you here on air and your news app.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your business news and see how your stock market closed for this Wednesday evening. Here's a look at your stock market for this evening. Your Dow Joe Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Stocks make a monster comeback. Dow rallies more than 700 points from lows of the day. After a wild session on Wednesday, stocks closed sharply higher as Wall Street erased massive losses earlier. That came after China's announcement on new tariffs on U.S. goods sparked fears of a trade war. Despite China retaliation, White House downplays fears of a trade war. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it to all the people who request like a tribe does?
More breaking news overnight. Just hours ago, China announced that it was imposing $50 billion in tariffs on American exports like soybeans, tobacco, airplanes. Retaliation for the $50 billion in tariffs that President Trump announced yesterday. Already seeing a big reaction in financial markets. Want to bring in our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. And this is the exact same kind of tit-for-tat retaliation that we had feared about with the announcement of these new tariffs. You've got 106 new tariffs announced overnight by China on everything from soybeans to cars to airplanes to orange juice. And there are major impacts potentially out there for the U.S. consumer. So, for example, jobs. U.S. companies like General Motors, Ford, and Boeing, if these tariffs take effect, see their products hit with higher tariffs. That means U.S. jobs down the line because these are companies that sell a lot of goods to China. Farmers here in the United States could be hit especially hard, especially on soybeans. About a third of the U.S. soybean crop currently goes to China. Those tariffs all of a sudden can put weight on demand. That has an impact on those farm jobs. And finally, prices. When you see tariffs, you should always think prices are going up, and not just in the place that's getting the new tariffs, but around the world. This really can have an impact on both U.S. consumers as well as Chinese consumers, and we've already seen it have an impact on stocks that have sold off on the fears of what might be a trade war.
That's the fear. The question is if. Both sides have announced these tariffs, will they actually happen?
And the chances of that are probably relatively small, and that's because already China has already filed a dispute with the WTO. That'll be a negotiation down the road. Both sides are very likely at the table now negotiating because these have yet to take effect and won't for many weeks or even months.
Okay, Rebecca, thanks very much.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report later on this evening. Good night, everyone. Bye.